with audio. Let's make sure that audio is coming through clearly. Well, actually, it wasn't the previous stream. It was the stream before that. Well, actually, it wasn't the previous stream. It was the stream before that. Yes, I am hearing the audio in my Twitch playback. All right, so a few things to go over. So as you can see, I've pretty much cleared this entire place out. I've also installed a mod that I really love, but I want to have I wanted to get the vanilla experience first. It's a mod called Hangman's Alley Interior Apartments, and I wanted to make sure it didn't clash with the extended, extended area mod. I will eventually unlock that and see how far that extends out to. But as you can see here, what was previously a wall here is now an opened area. If we go over here, we'll see that we've got this lovely little area, which leads into, well, a bunch of interior apartments. And this is all within the crafting zone, all within the zone. So yes, all these various apartments where I can do all kinds of fun crafting and apartment stuff.
Thanks for your help.
Don't make me use the push mod, guys. And as we can see, if we go over here, we come out here to this area, which is beyond this door. And let's just clear the trash a bit. There's a few things. Like, I don't normally talk about the mod changes between episodes because they're not relevant, but they might be relevant in this instance. So, I will talk about them in this instance. So as you can see here, for those who know the vanilla game, you know that basically Hangman's Alley is just the interior of that locked door and doesn't really go much further than that. But as you can see here, this actually goes, now the actual border thing is not working, but it goes basically to about here. And it goes around the front here, and so I've got a pretty decent area. So you can see I put in these doors here. And of course I put a guard depot here, and a couple of turrets. We've got this, which comes down here, which of course has the guard depot here. And we've got a couple of turrets here. So on and so forth. Of course we've got in here, this is of course part of the interior mods. The interior apartments mod, as you can see here. So this just gives me a lot of more interior space, which is fun to play with. I like it, personally. And like I said, it doesn't clash with the larger settlements mod, though it does break the border. So you don't see the green border, but the green border is still there. The extended green border is still there. Now, other things of note. Dog meat. I have installed two mods. One that gives booties to dog meat that are craftable, one that gives helmets to dog meat that are craftable. And I've processed dog meat some other armor, so dog meat's a little bit better protected. I think I may look into the tactical canine body armor mod, so I can give them, you know, a Kevlar vest. I think that might look the best. But there's also the dog meat vault suit mod. I'm not sure which one I like conceptually the better idea of. Giving him like essentially a SWAT jacket, a flak jacket, or a vault suit. So let me know in the comments, either here on Twitch or, you know, on YouTube, what you guys actually like the better concept of. Like dog meat in a vault suit, or dog meat in a tactical body armor. Ada, I really didn't do too much to her. Didn't really have the science to do any robot upgrades to her, unfortunately. I hadn't really picked up any unique mods. The Sentinel is still using his mismatched armor. At some point, I will sort through all of the stuff that I have and give him proper outcast armor and upgrade his armor. Because the thing is,
Everything okay?
the Sentinel, he's for all intents and purposes, well, he's not a standard companion. He plays by his own rules, so that's why I can have him and Ada and Dogmeat, because Dogmeat plays by his own rules in the vanilla game. They just kind of gave up halfway. Like, there's actual code in the vanilla game that got cut, which, including dialogue. Like, if you go to Vault 81, they will comment, they have vanilla dialogue, like vanilla voice dialogue, where they will comment on your companion and your dog at the same time. So, originally the game was intended to let you have Dogmeat and a companion, but they scrapped it at some point, but they didn't fully scrap it because Dogmeat is still kind of broken. And so the mod basically just restored and fixed the functionality that allows you to have Dogmeat and a companion. So I've got Dogmeat as a special companion, I've got the Sentinel as a special companion, and I've got a standard companion, which is Ada. Because yes, if I recruited Preston or anybody else, they would replace Ada. Ada does not have special rules.
All right.
Which is sad. Maybe I'll look into how Ada functions and how the robots function and allow you to have a robot companion in addition to a proper companion. Because it just feels weird that your robot companions that you build are treated the same as your human companions. Now, Ada, granted, is a little bit different than a standard robot companion. She's got a lot more personality, but you get what I'm saying.
Ada.
If this guy plays by his own rules, why wouldn't a robot play by its own rules?
I'm not
So
sure.
I may look into the scripting of that. That would definitely be a mod involved in scripting, I am 100% sure.
Hey.
Anyway, so the Sentinel, while being a pretty standard companion, as you can see here, he's got the personality matrix, and you can actually pick up a few of them. There's a Sentry Bot, the Mr. Gutsy, the Assaultron, and I believe there's 2 more you can find. Let's go to the Mr. Gutsy just for the hell of it. Now you can also do this one. And you can see this is just a standard loadout, and he has a default weapon. I could give him a weapon, and he'll switch over to that. Like all companions, they have a default weapon that they use when they have nothing else equipped. Same thing with companions and their clothing. You can equip a companion with different clothing, and it'll make their default clothing able to basically be removed and used by you. So you can see here that he's got this T-45 armor. And, you know, at some point I'll go through and I'll upgrade it and polish it and all that fun stuff. But that's going to be for the future.
You're not my boss.
Now, for the last thing of note to talk about. My own personal upgrades. I have ditched the armored Nuka suit for the spike armor, which actually has a better base armor. And I have crafted it up. So my current armor rating is that, which is pretty damn decent. Now, that said, I actually have some alternate outfits. I still have my charisma outfit.
It's pretty amazing. No doubt about it.
And I have a third outfit because I didn't really want to get rid of the Pint Slice Slasher, even though it's not really the best armor I can have. So I have the Pint Slice Slasher outfit, mainly as my stealth armor, ironically. Because it's got stealth bonuses, weird as it is. But that's my day-to-day combat armor. And with that said, let us look at our goals for today, shall we? Origin of the faint radio signal. So let us head there. Come on. It's going to be this way, yes, this way.
Anything you want to talk about? I don't care. Yep.
Uh-oh, gunners.
This ends.
Get to cover. Did I not re-hotkey my cloth braces? I did not. Someone's using a gamma gun. And there is one other thing worth mentioning, but I forgot to mention it before. And now we're kind of in a firefight, so I will mention it later. Once the firefight is over.
Please tell me we're done.
Because yes, I did level up off camera while doing all my crafting and whatnot. But unlike normal, I actually spent the perk points because I needed them for crafting. To upgrade my armor and all that. So, all I did was I grabbed the first rank of armor and I grabbed the second rank of local leader so I could build the crafting benches. But as you can see from my EXP that I'm gaining, I'm about to hit a third level up.
I really don't care.
There's our gamma gun. Yeah, they must have killed the child of Adam and looted his gamma gun.
What have you been up to?
Well, now we have a gamma gun, and I may seriously consider putting that into my loadout, because let's be honest, a gamma gun is actually a relatively useful weapon against human opponents.
Give a shit.
Because it basically limits their max HP. Oh, so it was actually children of Adam here. Maybe it was just one child of Adam, or two children of Adam, and a bunch of and a gunner. That's what it seems like. Yeah, that's what it seems like we ran into. Nope, two gunners. Okay. Oh, we're actually relatively close to the radio signal, aren't we?
Good dog.
And I am slowly but surely off camera working on basically getting compatibility mods in place for all my other mods. And by compatibility mods, I primarily mean my sorting mod. Making sure everything's got the proper sorting tags. Because not everybody's sorting tags play well together with each other, and you want to have one master sorting mod that has, you know, the various keywords and whatnot, but not every mod adheres to those, and so I've had to go in and make a compatibility patch for pretty much every single item in the game, every mod in the game, every ingestible in the game, every piece of armor in the game. Basically, every item in the game has had to I've had to slowly work on modding to give it the proper sorting tag so they properly show up the way they're supposed to. Yes, and you can just imagine how many items that is and how tedious it takes. I have literally been working on it
Trouble?
since episode 3. I spend about an hour each morning and an hour after each stream just putting in the tags on a bunch of items. It is taking absolutely forever. But eventually I'll finish. Another thing worth mentioning. I haven't been doing this, like, for those who have seen my previous Fallout 4 Let's Plays, knows that I had no problem with using the various mods I had at my disposal to basically swap around legendaries onto different items. I have refrained from doing that to make things a little bit more fair and balanced. If I pick up a legendary, I will not swap it onto another thing unless it's the same type of armor and just for some reason I can't pull all the mods off of it. So like for example, or similar types of armor. So like in the old days, for example, let's say where is it? Yes. Is this the one? The chameleon one? Yes. So I got this one of the first legendaries I got. Chameleon's really good. One of the first things I probably would have done in the old days is tear the chameleon mod off of it, throw it onto the first piece of synth or combat armor I got, because synth, combat armor, marine, robot, those are higher tier, higher grade than metal. I haven't, as you can see. I've just been upgrading metal as best I can. But what I will do is I will swap that between armor of the same style. So metal armor, raider armor, robot armor. Now that I've actually got armor rank 1, that's like a mental thing I'm putting in. And I may actually build a mod which allows you to convert one armor to another. Like, for example, converting raider to metal, metal to robot. But I have to figure out all the logistics of how armor would upgrade. Like, some of it seems pretty obvious. Raider armor can upgrade to metal armor can upgrade to robot armor. Leather armor logically feels like it could upgrade to DC guard armor. But I feel like that's as far as it could go. Combat armor might be able to upgrade to synth armor. But I'm not quite sure of the logistics, including perks, like, you know, maybe you need armor rank 2 for some of this stuff. Like, how do you jump from robot or metal armor to combat armor, which allows you to go to synth armor? How do you go from leather and DC guard armor to metal or combat armor? What is the upgrade path for that? So I got to kind of figure out the logistics of that. Because I feel like if you're skilled enough as an armorer, you should be able to take the patchwork raider armor and turn it into the more refined metal armor, and then eventually, of course, into robot armor, which is the logical extreme of that. Same thing with combat armor turning into basically new-gen combat armor, which is the synth armor. And of course, the DC guard armor is just basically better-made leather armor. But how you cross those boundaries, I'm not sure. And for marine armor, the one from Far Harbor, and the trapper armor I would put in the raider category. So you go raider to trapper to metal. For the marine armor, I would say marine might actually be the weird bridge. Like, combat armor and synth armor can go to marine armor, but robot armor can also go to marine armor, because they're kind of similar things, you know, powered armor and all that. So that might be the thing, is like you might not, it might not make logical sense to go from robot armor to combat armor, but it might make logical sense to go from robot armor to marine armor. Again, let me know in the comments, especially you, Hetero. I know you like to comment on the YouTube, and here too. But let me know what your thoughts are on those. So I'm definitely picking up a lot of combat armor. I'm trying to figure out the upgrade path so I can move beyond metal and leather armor. Would not be the worst idea. By the same token, I'm trying to figure out the logistics on how I can take some of these legendaries and migrate them to the clothing, because by default, nothing in your game is going to give you legendaries on clothing. You'll find a few special cases, but you'll never get drops of legendary clothing. So trying to figure out how I can migrate something, like for example, if I have a legendary on, again, metal or leather armor, and like chest armor, I could see that migrating to the spike armor or the various under armors, because, you know, a leather chest piece or whatever is logically similar to the full body, well, spike armor. And of course, we've already talked about the Assaultron helmet, which is, you know, part of the robot armor line.
Good dog.
There's like this entire logistics I'm trying to figure out about armor upgrading. Like, how do you take an arm piece and turn that into a leg armor? How do you translate a legendary from anything to helmets?
Hey, buddy.
So like, I'm trying to figure out the logistics of how that goes and what limitations there would be. Oh, that's one of my provisioners. I probably should have saved, shouldn't I? Well, we'll see. Okay. Chain, so we can't go there. Let's switch over to the knife, because I believe we're likely to run more into ghouls here than... And immediately what we run into is a bloatfly.
My pleasure. Let's get this over with.
Subway maintenance area. That's probably where we need to go.
Dead as can be. Hey.
Yes. Glad to be of service.
Let me give you some stuff to carry, Ada. Yeah, let's not give her grenades. That's probably not the best idea. Yeah. Word of advice, never, ever, ever give your companions grenades, 'cause they will use them. I cannot emphasize this enough. They will use them. And until you have inspirational, so they cannot damage you with friendly fire, you are just asking for trouble by giving your companions frickin' grenades. 'Cause they will fucking kill you. I may end up just uninstalling that mod, because honestly, while it was a cool concept of being able to loot skeletons, I was kind of hoping that once you looted, a skeleton, the skeleton would vanish. It wouldn't just kind of sit there as a skeleton, but now the skeleton has no bones in it. So I may just remove that mod,
Okay.
because it's
Let's get started.
a little on the silly side.
May have some trouble.
Ah!
I'm sorry.
That's a legendary rad roach. Wonderful. Troubleshooters. Metal chest piece. That's... Okay, that's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, troubleshooters is, again, not bad. Like, when we start going against... That's an interesting thought. When we start diving deep into the Mechanist DLC, the Automatron DLC, would it be worthwhile to switch over to a Troubleshooter's legendary build, assuming I can get enough pieces? Because, let's be honest here, if I could get a hold
Good dog.
of 5 armor pieces, or 4, because we always want to keep the chameleon, right? 4 pieces that are troubleshooters, that's what, 15, 30, 60? 60% reduction from all robots, which would it'd be literally everything you face in Automatron. Just a straight up 60% damage reduction is not the worst idea in the world. Like, if you have enough legendaries to cover 4 or 5 pieces, because I would assume you would always want to keep your chameleon gear. It's just so dang useful. So if you just got 4 other chameleons, I would argue that having a 60% damage reduction against the primary enemy you're going to face in a particular group, like if you're doing Nuka World, assassins all the way.
Dog meat. Hey, boy.
If you're doing Automatron, you want to do troubleshooters. Far Harbor? Honestly, Hunters maybe? The one that's good against bugs? Like the bugs and insect, which is, Mirelurk, which is a big part of Far Harbor. Because the thing with Far Harbor is the main enemies you're going to face in Far Harbor are anglers, which are fish monstrosities. You're going to face fog crawlers, which are a variant of Mirelurks. You're going to face Mirelurks. You're going to face hermit crabs. So again, all crawfish, basically. So if you were to go into Far Harbor with the Hunter's gear, you'd have 60% reduction against 90% of the enemies you will face. Now, the other question, so the only other one that I can think of that probably has no usefulness whatsoever is a legendary that gives you protection against insects. Because let's be honest, there is no case where stingwings, blood bugs, bloat flies, and rad roaches form a significant enough opponent that you want to worry about getting particular protection against them.
Possibly.
They're just not that big of a deal that you should dedicate an entire loadout to them. Remember, the entire theme of this entire Let's Play is improving your survivability as much as possible. Now, we've been doing it mainly with perks, but mods are not the worst idea. Armor mods are definitely a viable way of improving survivability. And a 60% reduction, 75 if you wanted to go full bore and forego your chameleon. Even more if you don't mind putting it onto armor. Onto clothing.
eat danger for breakfast. Tastes
The fumes here are
Hey.
distressingly noxious.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So anyway, yes, Hetero, if you have any thoughts about the armor upgrade system, feel free to let me know in the future through here or YouTube. That is a long path to explore. Let's not do that. Let's see what else we can explore here.
Ada.
I've never lost anyone before. This failure is new to me.
Tough brain.
Yeah, that is definitely where we want to ultimately go. So let's finish exploring this side of things
Find anything
and
useful?
see what we can
Possibly.
find. Chain. So we're going to come back through this way. So yeah, only one way to go. And let's try going along the side. You know, for all the problems with the Creation Club content, there is some really nice mods in it. Now granted, there are limitations in Creation Club. They can't have any voice dialogue. For whatever reason, that's just like a limitation that's been imposed by Bethesda. So everything's done through, you know, written logs. But
We'll all be
they've
better
written
without
some
you.
pretty decent stuff in the written logs. Which you're actually going to see here as we do. I mean, you already got an idea of it last time with the fun little mod that is the Pint-Sized Slasher, which is just an armor mod. But it came with its own little quest that you can shortcut, as you saw. There's more rad roaches.
That's impossible. That's it.
Draw me like one of your French ghouls. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Let's do this. My pleasure. Good riddance. My pleasure. This ends now. I think we're done for now.
Now, some of you may be wondering why the Tunnel Snakes Rule mod would be ghoul-focused. You'll find out.
God. The smell.
Now, you could argue how canon it is. But Bethesda has gone on record saying that for Creation Club, while they don't make it a hard and fast rule, they prefer to try and
What
keep
have you been up to?
Creation Club stuff at least plausible to the canon. Like, they're not going to pose hard and fast rules, and they're not going to judge and document and, like, limit stuff based upon canon. But if stuff is just outright
Staying out of
completely
trouble.
impossible to the canon, they will say, no, you need to change it. So basically, I think the best way to think about Creation Club content is it's canon adjacent. It's possible within the canon. funnily enough, no, there is not a ghoul mask equivalent item. Though, of course, there have been ghoul masks made. There have been mods that have added the ghoul mask. Oh, really? This one's not been enabled as a cooking bench. Fun. Yes, yes, yes. Radiation. Just let me get these things. I don't care about the rads. In fact, the rads literally help me out. Move you over to there. Thank you. I have loot I'm trying to grab. Actually, let's make things a bit more relevant, shall we? Let's pull up the radio. We have the, I believe it's a strange signal. Faint radio signal. Has it been disabled because I've come in here? It might have been disabled because I've come in here. But normally you just basically hear growling. And actually while we're here. So, there's nothing new in toughness or life giver naturally. I could take another rank of adamantium skeleton. Oh, it's got to be solar powered, right? Health regen? That's kind of our bag, isn't it? Yes, health regen.
Your thoughts?
Another glorious day in the U.S. Army.
Are you kidding me?
Ada.
Hey.
What can I do for you?
It may be superfluous at this point. But let's give you some more carry weight. Tunnel snakes actually provides poison resistance. I didn't know that. Yeah, screw it. Let's take a look at the tunnel snake's outfit while we're here, shall we? Or at least we'll get a better look at it. Should be underneath clothing. No, it's probably underneath armor then. Yeah, it's a tunnel snake's outfit. It's basically a vault suit with a leather jacket on top of it. It may or may not be the most visible. Anyway, let's go and put back on the spike armor. Still, decent poison resistance, not gonna lie.
Hey there.
Ironic that people were ingenious enough to create a massive transit system, but couldn't even cure the common cold.
Not really, no.
Yes, I was just about to say that, Ada. Technically, we did cure the common cold. It's just that the common cold keeps coming back! So here is the big one. So yes, there are a couple of things that the Creation Club Tunnel Snakes Rule mod adds. One is a Tunnel Snakes outfit. 2 is, well, the quest. 3 is the classic 10mm from Fallout 3, which we will take a look at here. And there's also a legendary variant of it, which has a unique visuals to it. And there gets rid of the faint radio signal. Alright, so here's our big lore dump. Transit maintenance log 1. Entry deleted. Transit maintenance log 2. And error data missing. First week. First week of joining up with the Tunnel Snake. This is freaking awesome. We can do whatever the hell we want and ain't nobody gonna stop us. Wally Mack found me. He's the top dog. Said he walked all the way from DC to start this gang up. Some of the other guys think that's a load of crap, but I believe him. Take one look at him and you can tell he's seen some shit. Tunnel Snakes rule. Superpowers. Took up shop in the Boston subway. Party 24/7 down here. One of the cars had a ton of radioactive waste. I told Wally it might be a bad idea to touch those, but he thinks that keeping them around will give us superpowers and make us all stone cold badasses. He's so freaking smart. I hope he gets super strength or maybe X-ray vision. Hostage. Ran into another group last week. They call themselves Gunners, which we think is hilarious since their aim sucks. We took one hostage. They'll think twice about screwing with us again. Wally found a sweet pistol on him. Maybe we could trade something good for it. Man, my head is freaking pounding. Some of the other guys are coming down with something too. Oh, it's not too bad. Vomit. It's bad. Everyone's got the shakes. George vomited all over my shoes. Even Wally's not looking so good. Radio. George is dead. Everything I do hurts, even breathing. I think Wally's lost it. He just screams, and when he's not screaming, he's laughing. I'm getting on the radio today. Maybe someone can help. Though at this point, putting a bullet between my eyes to stop this headache doesn't sound so bad either. So, you know, that kind of tracks with the Fallout lore. Not just Fallout 4, but Fallout in general. Exposure to radiation will either kill you or turn you into a ghoul. Obviously, it turned these guys all into ghouls because... well, and some of the ghouls we found were dead. So they clearly turned into ghouls and then died. So again, tracks.
I'll use this opportunity to flush my particle filters.
That's quite a plan. Thanks for your help.
And they're being led by Wally Mack. For those who don't remember Fallout 3, Wally Mack was one of Butch's henchmen, and Wally Mack was not the brightest tool in the shed. Let's be honest, none of the Tunnel Snakes really were. But can you guess what happened to Wally Mack? The guy who thought that the radiation would give him superpowers and decided to start swimming in it? And is now either screaming or laughing? I'll give you 3 guesses on what happened to Wally Mack. We'll see if you're right by the time we reach Wally Mack. Now, to answer another question that I am sure is on everybody's burning mind, is the Creation Club worth the price of admission? And my answer has always been exactly the same: no. Its default prices are not worth the price of admission, especially when you compare their prices against actual DLC Bethesda has released. They are not worth the price. But they are worth a price. My personal recommendation is if any particular piece of Creation Club calls to you, wait for it to go on sale. It is worth the price when it's on sale. It is not worth the price when it's full price. They're good. They're just not $10 good, basically.
Let's do this. Like I give a shit.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to invest. I definitely have to put some serious investment into adamantium skeleton because I cripple way, way too easy. Like, I just got crippled again!
Bye. God. The smell. Hey.
And here is the gunner that they caught.
Won't be able to pick this.
Now, I believe there is actually a key around here. But here's the fun thing. I don't need a key. Now, do I? I have Ada.
Heads up.
How may I be of service?
Ada, if you wouldn't be so bold. There's Wally Mac.
Up yours. You got my attention. I'm sorry. Let's get out of here.
Now, that said,
Heads
Ada.
Happy to help if I can.
There.
Lock tight.
There it is. Ada,
Check that
unlock
out.
the door.
Looks like this shouldn't be too difficult. Let me try something else. There we are. Unlocked as requested. Well, there certainly isn't much left of whatever this was.
No.
I love the lockpicking module.
God. The smell. Whatever.
And there's Ultimatum. Which, as you might expect, given the quest, well, its legendary effect is radiation damage. Though you have to admit, sweet ass skin.
Dead as can be. Dog meat. Hey, boy. How you doing, buddy? Hey there.
Nothing particularly impressive in here. I mean, we've definitely got plenty of tunnel snake outfits. I'm gonna regret this, aren't I? Alright, we know what to do. That's why we got them. Rat X, rat away again, just for the little hell of it. And of course, some water. We're gonna need some food.
Hell yeah.
Not gonna lie, I think the rads that we got there might have been worth it for 5 fusion cores. And similarly, we're getting a bunch of rads over here, but look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 quantums. How many plasma
Man, are you alright? That looks bad.
cartridges is that?
Your thoughts?
Yes, it is heavily irradiated over here. But let's be honest, that is some decent loot for all the rads.
Dog meat. Hey, boy.
Books. So probably ending with an S. Sorts. It's not starting with an S. Not with an O in the second character, because then it would be shared with books. So it's got to be RTS something. RTS. RT rests?
There we go.
This location appears secure.
That's great news. Good dog. Ada. Ada.
I've
Excuse
never
me.
lost anyone before.
Look alive.
This failure is new to me.
Yep, 8 has actually reached her limit. Alright. Big guy. Big guy. Big.
Hey there.
Oh wow, I am still over encumbered. Yeah, probably all the weapons. And that's his limit. I have actually completely filled up 2 of my companions. Just for this one mission. Alright, dog meat. Counting on you, dog meat. Can you get me under my carry limit? Close enough. Did I miss some literal adhesive? I missed some adhesive.
Hey, boy.
Dog meat.
Sweet.
And back where we started. So, well, since we're relatively close by to it anyway, and we are horribly over encumbered, let's head back to Hangman's Alley, dump all this loot, and let's see. I'd actually like to make it to Good Neighbor. Like, we'll save these 3 for later because they're right near Diamond City. I think what I'll do is this batch of things here. This big old batch here. And we'll do Diamond City as the last leg of our tour through this area of the map. Actually, now that I think about it, technically speaking, there is a ghoul mask equivalent in Fallout 4.
I give a shit.
It's just... it isn't an item. I'm hearing robots. We've actually talked about it before. It's right here. Ghoulish, rank 3, is essentially the equivalent of the ghoul mask, just not as reliable. At Ghoulish level 3, some ghouls will become friendly to you. Some feral ghouls will become friendly to you. No, not that way.
Let's get this over with. Take that. Die, mutant scum.
This is a good way of seeing how our regen is. Alright, so you're seeing the damage he's doing.
Oh my god. Are you alright?
And how's our regen looking?
Who's got a target?
And we're nearly at full health already.
You annoy me. Sorry. Yes. Please tell me we're done.
Yeah, so that's what our regeneration currently looks like. Our various regen boosting effects. I'm not gonna lie. It's not terrible. I mean, look at how fast we healed after all the damage we just took. And that isn't even our final form. As I showed way back when, before all the DLCs launched, I had ludicrously high regen when I had all the perks. And keep in mind, regen, I believe, is... what's the word I'm looking for? It's percentage based. So the higher level you are, the more HP each percentage represents. And keep in mind, there's still a skill book we can pick up in the the Boston Mayoral Shelter, which gives us more regen. We still have... where is it? Ghoulish level 2. Ghoulish level 3 for more regen. And I think that's it. I think it's those things are the last regens we get. So we still haven't reached the maximum amount of health regen we can get. Need to go this way.
Everything okay, boy?
So imagine when we have our health regen maxed out with all the various perks and the skill books. Oh, fuck. Well, he's a skirmisher. What you know.
Let's get on with it. They're going down.
What grenades do I have available to me? Baseball grenade will work.
Take that.
Yeah, sure. Center bottom mass.
Take that.
Where is he?
pleasure. Take that. Yeah. Done and done. Want some more? Dead as can be.
U.S. Army.
Glad to help.
But yes, I am definitely going to have to invest more in adamantium skeleton because I just cripple way too easily. And I think our health regen is pretty damn decent, let's be honest. So then our main concern would be the secondary effects. And I think a lucky board, okay, I'm going to say that's not really worthwhile. I've been pretty positive towards most of the legendaries we've got, but let's be honest, the lucky board, I can't even sugarcoat that. I really can't. But yes, I think what we should be focusing on, aside from, you know, the utility and damage dealing perks, is, yeah, I think we're going to have to focus on the crippled limbs. I really have just gone straight towards Diamond City, haven't I? But I'll close the gate, whatever. We need to go this way. Well, I definitely know what name to give this particular episode. Tunnel Snakes Rule. Because that's primarily what we did. Like most of my episodes, I haven't really been able to give them a proper name. But let's be honest. We pretty much just did Tunnel Snakes Rule in this episode.
Time to put on a show.
Yeah, whatever you guys are fighting, I'm not going to really run back there and deal with it. Oh, Dogmeat has befriended that one. But not this one. Oh, that is Dogmeat I am
Sorry.
shooting.
I guess I just lost control. Want some more? Hey, boy.
How did we get so far over by Diamond City? Because this is definitely the Diamond City path. Is Diamond City really that close to Hangman's Alley? I know conceptually it is, but I didn't think practically it is. It might be. Yeah, it might just be, yeah. We just head straight up the road, we go straight to Diamond City. 'Cause if I'm not mistaken... Yeah! There's a door to our... So, when we came around the corner, I saw that. I'm like, oh, wait, we're too close to Diamond City. No, we were literally right around the corner from our base.
Glorious day in the U.S. Army.
'Cause our base is
Are
right
you
here.
kidding me?
You may be friendly to dog meat, but apparently you're not friendly to my base. But yeah, I mean, we're only around level 28. Yeah, 28, almost at 29. And we have a very, very healthy health regen. In survival, no less. It's like, we're not even at our full capabilities, but we're doing a pretty dang good job. So yeah, I think the next focus will be Adamantium Skeleton. Let's see if we can't max that out, be immune to damage, to limb crippling. And, well, before I end the stream, because let's be honest, pretty dang close to a ending point here, because we're already back at the base, and I just have a bunch of stuff to basically get rid of. I'll keep Ultimatum. I'll see if I can craft into something useful. But, yeah, let's be honest, I'm not going to be using the pipe revolver pistol. It's either going to be my sniper... Actually, which is worthwhile? No, really? Yeah. It's going to be my knife or Righteous Authority. I doubt... Well, Ultimatum might be worthwhile. I mean, Ultimatum actually technically does more damage than the Ghoul Slayers. So I'll look at Ultimatum in a bit and see if it's... see what I can upgrade it to. But like I said... let's, if you have any last comments before we end the stream, now's the time. While I basically dump everything into the inventory, now would be a good time to do ending comments. Oh, no, I want to keep the sticky magazine available so I can properly properly do its tags. Don't need that, 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 don't need that. So yeah. 308 and energy and possibly 10 millimeter. I have to take a look at ultimatum. So 308, alien blaster, fusion cells, and 10 millimeter. Yeah, legendary stacking was fun, but like I said, I kind of want to do...
An awfully high opinion of yourself.
I want to kind of make it a little bit more logical instead of just throwing anything onto anything just because I like that particular item.
Do I look like I have time for idle chit
So I
chat?
definitely want to figure out how to put legendaries onto different things, but I want to think of a more logical way than basically just grabbing whatever the hell I want. You know what? Screw it. Take all. Yes, that leaves him as a headless frame,
Anything
but
you
I'll
want?
do some crafting of his armor off camera. That's not creepy at all, is it? Just a talking headless power armor frame.
Yes, ma'am. Sure. Go ahead and take a look.
Oh, and for those of you who are wondering how you deal with Ada and other robot companions being horribly crippled, like this, say you're using my, what did I call the mod? Well, I literally called the mod Falling and Crippling. The solution to fix her, because clearly she's able to walk around just fine, she's not crippled and stuck on the ground permanently. This is all you gotta do. You'll notice, I don't even have to modify anything. She's now fully repaired. So yeah, she gets fully repaired once she goes in here. And there we go. I have now fully repaired and patched up Ada, and I think that's fair. I think that's not game breaking or cheating or anything. I'm literally repairing a robot at the robot workbench. That feels fair. But yeah, oosh. We just did one place and look at all of the loot we picked up. When we eventually go to, well, I guess technically what we'll be going to cellular stuff is Good Neighbor. Gamma Gun, that's another thing to keep on mind to see what I can do to upgrade it. Anyway, I think we have covered all the basics. So with that said, I will see you all in the future.